Peace, goddesses, peace, gods. You know, I'm inclined to believe that every time nobody seems to call me when I'm not on live, and it just seems like, I don't know, people get signals to give me a call while I'm doing a live, and then it interrupts the live, right? And then it mutes the live. You know, that's just weird, really weird to me. When that happens, I can go all day and don't get not one call, but as soon as I go on a live, somebody get a signal, right? Somebody get a signal and then give me a call. But I'm just going to continue where I left off. I don't know if it actually got muted or not, but I just went on ahead and ended the first live because normally that's what happens. But I wanted to talk about manifestations, right? And hold on just a second here. Just a minute. Just a second. Okay. So yes, I was talking about understanding how we manifest. You know, we manifest all the time.
Did you want the exit from you?
Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
That's everything. Have a nice day.
You too. Can you?
We're not allowed to because usually, but I mean.
How can you? Okay, thank you. Have a good one. All right, so as I was saying, I was talking about manifestations, right? And I wanted people to understand how we manifest all the time, right? A lot of times we connect manifestations to, abundance and, positivity, and you manifest all of the positive things that you want. But we're always manifesting. That's the thing. We're constantly manifesting. And our idea of what manifesting is, be it positive or negative, but just know that we are always manifesting, right? Yes, we do have the desire to manifest positive things, but I think if we understood how deep it really goes, then we will more likely be more thoughtful in terms of what we think about, so that we are able to manifest the things that we truly desire. I think we don't have a deep infectious understanding of how this manifestation actually goes. So a lot of times, when we hear a manifest, when someone manifested this and manifest that, and they always speaking on the high end of manifestation in terms of positive things and in terms of, abundance and all of those things, we look at manifestations always on the high end, but we manifest all the time, be it what we perceive as positive or negative. And what I was saying in my last video, right, how it all comes into part of how you think, what you believe in, what your internal values are, what you have allowed within your being to be, that you've given the thumbs up to, right, that you are in agreement with, right? Because it's what you believe and how you perceive things is what's going to ultimately be the energy or the frequency sent out for your manifestations. This is why they say, you are what you get, you are what you believe, right? You are, your waking life is a reflection of who you are, what you believe, and how you think. You are the creator of your reality. This is where all of these sayings come from, right? This is why it is like, to give you an example, I was using Nicki Minaj as an example of that, right? She has an influence, right? And so the entities or the powers that be that we say are powerful, which really truly is not powerful. Let me put that out there. They only are powerful by perception because we've agreed for them to be powerful, but ultimately they are really not powerful. You are the power, right? You are the power. What you believe for yourself contributes to the collective consciousness. This is why they put so much stuff out there for you to believe in, right? For an example, this is why they have control over media, because media reaches millions and millions of people to get people on the same wavelength into believing certain things, so that the manifestation of those beliefs or whatever they're projecting in an image can come to fruition a lot faster. Because guess what? They're putting all of this in front of everybody's face at damn near the same time. Everybody is focused on what's going on in the media. So whatever it is that they want to manifest at a fast rate, they always put it on the media, because it reaches people at such a fast capacity versus, trying to get everybody on the individual aspect to believe in what they want to believe. This is the power of media. This is why, the Nicki Minaj's and all of the celebrity have to, tread on thin ice when it comes to that, because they have such an influence on so many people that if they get people on one thought process and wave, it would change the dynamic of what it is that they're trying to achieve in terms of this system, right? So this is what I want people to understand themselves enough to know how they are making a contribution to the collective, and how all of this plays into part as to why you are it, you the shit, right? I want people to understand the power of themselves. I'm telling you, my videos is not gonna go out there. I'm telling y'all, okay? I'm telling y'all because I'm giving y'all game. I'm giving y'all the real true game of what really is, because I'm bringing you back to yourself, right? Because I'm bringing you back to yourself, because without you knowing the true power of who you are, you will always stay lost in the sauce, right? You will always stay lost in the sauce. That's just like when you have a house, right? And you clean your house because you want to be around, cleanliness. Like as they say, cleanliness is next to godliness, because what you're doing, you're lightening yourself from all of the things that could potentially, hold you down or create a level of stagnation, right? You cleaning your atmosphere, you're cleaning your aura, and it lightens you, right? That's what it means when you say enlighten or lighten. It frees you. Stop saying that it's well, that's true. You're absolutely, it's true. It's true. I agree with you. Peace be unto you, goddess. Yes, that's absolutely true. I should stop saying that. But but what I'm saying though is when you understand that, the cleanliness, then you're gonna start understanding how to cleanse your thoughts, right? And how to get rid of the negative thoughts, or the thoughts that are put out there in a mass quantity to get you control, or to manifest a reality that they want to have manifested versus the reality that you want to have manifested for yourself. That is why it's imperative, not to watch the news, because the news is built by design to get a mass amount of people all at the same time to think about something at the same time, because of the energy and the frequency of that thought in unison, or as a collective, that brings the manifestation on quicker. This is why the collective consciousness is the most important focus with these particular systems, because they understand the power of getting everybody to believe in the things that they want them believing in all at the same time, because that propels the energy to create the manifestation, to bring it into fruition or their reality. This is why media is very powerful, because it gets to many minds all at the same time. So if you understand yourself and your contribution to that, right, then you will start cleaning the mind and cleaning the house and filtering out what are you allowing in your mind that's really infiltrating the system that you desire to see for yourself, right? It's all because of what you believe in, because what you believe in is cultivating your now moment, is cultivating your now reality. It is creating the whether it's something that you want or the illusion, right, of something else that you don't want, but because you believe in it, right? That's why the illusion is present in your life. And the reason why it's called an illusion, because indirectly You're being manipulated to believe into something that is not true to yourself. That is not the true aspect of who you are. So when you start believing in things that have been indoctrinated within you to believe in, that is not the true aspect of who you are, right? The true aspect of who you are is going deep within yourself, right? And understanding what is true within yourself, right? And then manifesting that truth into your reality without any type of interception or any type of deception or with any type of, none of that stuff is feasible within yourself, because you're going from within. You're not being influenced from outside influences. This is why people that have such a grand social media platform have a sense of responsibility of what they put out there in terms of the energy, right? It's either you're going to conform to what it is that you want to put out there, or you're going to conform to what it is that they want you to do. You have to make that choice. But a lot of times those who have the greatest platforms, they are more at a scrutiny, because if the system see that you're utilizing that platform into something that goes against the grain of what it is that they want to happen, this is where they start, the same media that built you up will be the same media that they use to try to destroy you, right? So because it's all about getting everybody on the same thought process at the same time, because that's where the power is. The power really is truly in the collective consciousness that creates the reality of this world. But what we want to focus on is understanding ourselves first, because what they took out the understanding of you and made you responsible for the collective consciousness without really understanding how you are contributing to your own consciousness that is actually manifesting or creating your reality. So it's manifestation is looked upon as this grand, beautiful thing that people are manifesting, themselves into, being, self-sufficient, or being, wealthy, or being, this artist, or being, having a new house, or anything that they perceive as something that signifies something of abundance. But you're manifesting every day. Be it what you perceive as positive, or be it what you perceive as negative. So what it is that, to get back to self is do cleaning, cleanse your thoughts, right? Sit down with the conversation of yourself, because they don't like it when you have a conversation with yourself and you start asking yourself these questions, and you start looking at what you believe in, and you start questioning, okay, well, does this belief, what benefit am I gaining from believing in this particular aspect of myself? Because you have to remember, once you start to believe in things, it becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of yourself until you decide that it's no longer a part of you. So when it becomes a part of you, that belief now has a source to thrive and become a reality in your now moment, in your waking life, in your reality. So just like how you have to clean your house, you have to clean your thoughts. And the only way you can start cleaning your thoughts is really sitting down, thinking within yourself, what is it that I do believe in? What is it that I do think about? Then you start going deep in, delving deeper to say, okay, is this serving me any purpose, right? What is the purpose of the belief in this? What type of contribution is this belief making for me, right? Then you will start understanding how that belief in that contribution is if it's not benefiting me, then it can't be possible. It can't possibly be benefiting the collective, right? You got to sit down and have these conversations with self. It's all about going back to the self. And I'm going to always put that out there. It starts with you. You are the true power. And I want the connection to be truly understood, that the reason why media is so prevalent and it's so powerful, because they have the ability to get the collective mind on one accord to manifest things at a rapid rate, at a rapid speed. Because once they can get our minds wrapped onto something all at the same time, just imagine all of that energy going into one source and the power that it brings and what it propels out there to the universe. This is why I always say they have always been dealing with us from a metaphysical perspective, right? These are the conversations I feel that we as a collective, when we be a part of these lives and stuff like that, I feel that this is what we should be be engaging and speaking of, because now it's getting us, back into communication of with our one self, ourself. It's nice to know about the demons, and it's nice to know about the angels, and it's nice, but if you don't understand yourself, right, you would not be able to understand the connections of all of the extensions that comes as a result of that, because you know not of yourself. This is why it is imperative to know thyself. Greetings, everyone that's coming in. Greetings. It's imperative for everybody to know thyself and know how this energy and frequency thing truly works. And this is why I'm going to put media as the forefront to give you a visual of how powerful it is when everybody comes on the path, the same wavelength of thinking of something at the same time. This is why they put all the news on at the same time every single day, because they know that at these point, at the 6 o'clock, look at the 6 o'clock, the 9 o'clock, they even know the powers of the 3, the 6, and the 9. They start off at 6 o'clock, then they go ahead at 9 o'clock, then they do it at 12 o'clock, then they come back again. They know the powers of numerology. They use esoteric, metaphysical, astrological information on us every moment of of your waking life, right? They use this against you. And I say against you because you know not of it. You know that you don't understand the strategy. What we look at is that all the news come on at 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, why do you think that they put news on 24/7? Why do they around the clock, right? And I don't really say clock, but every opportunity that they get. And then they use numerology, right? When they the power of the numbers, the most powerful numbers, to give it more propel, right? So not only when you're thinking around this time, when they get you all on when you're watching the news or you're looking at certain media at a certain time, right? Now they have the influences of the energies that these particular numbers carry as well to propel it more. Right? So it's imperative to know thyself, understand thy energy, know that you're a clean house. And when I say clean house, clean your thoughts. Look at the example that when you take away the cluster from around you, it frees you, it lifts you, right? It lifts you, it propels you, it frees you, it makes room for energy to flow, for positive energy to flow. So this is what we have to do with our thoughts, because our thoughts are the most powerful thing. That is what creates creation. Our thoughts, our energy that propels our thoughts is what creates our reality, right? So this is why our thoughts are so controlled, right? By the media, by advertisement, by visuals, right? They constantly put visuals in front of you. They're constantly putting things in your thoughts so that you can think about it, so that you can think about McDonald's, so that you can think about, they use the color system, right? The color systems in reference to the alignment of what your chakras are. They use metaphysics all the time against you. And if you the reason why it worked for so long is because we never had the understanding of ourselves, or even the knowledge of knowing that these things are what is the true effects of why things are more successful in our terms of understanding what success is. It is more successful than not, right? So they've been always, this is why I don't knock any of the gods and the goddesses that have come out there, and they have, regardless of what they do, but if they're putting out information that is beneficial to the growth of you in terms of esoteric knowledge and information metaphysically, then that to me, they have my heart. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is the aspect of ourselves that we know not of. And without understanding what fuels this whole thing, right? We're going to always be lost in the sauce. We're going to always trying to be figuring out what is the components that got this way, or got that way, or whatever the case may be. We're going to always be lost in the sauce. So it's you. It's always going to be you. The understanding of who you are, what thoughts that you have into your mind, what have you accepted as truth, or has accepted as value within yourself, that you are giving the energy to, because you're giving the energy to the thoughts that's in your mind and to the beliefs that's in your mind. You're giving it energy to exist. You're giving it energy to propel. You're giving it energy to sustain. You are giving it life, right? Because you are the source energy. You are giving it life, right? So if you understand that aspect of what you're giving life to, then you'll start learning of what you want to give life to versus what you don't want to give life to. Have a conversation with yourself. Sit down with yourself and say to self, okay, what is it that I believe in? Is this beneficial for me? Is this benefit, like for me, I sat down with the thought of religion, right? And as a child growing up, I used to always say, well, if God is, this God that is so, powerful, I started asking questions. Why is he a jealous God? Why is it the very thing that they told me not to do? I started to question, right? I started to question. And the more I started to question, and I started to say, okay, this is not benefiting me. This is that my belief in this aspect is not beneficial to my being. Right? Not to say that it wouldn't be beneficial to somebody else. I'm not knocking nobody that wants to believe in that. But for me, I had to do the work for myself to understand what it is that I believe in. Like in situations that are not necessarily good or that are argumentative, right? When you sit down and you have an argument with somebody and it doesn't feel good, and then you're holding somebody hostage, or you're holding that situation hostage against yourself. Know that you're still giving it life to exist by even holding it close to you. You understand what I'm saying? So if it doesn't serve you, what go? Because you being mad at the situation is still giving it life to sustain, because it's always on your mind. It's something that's going to remind you of it, and every time you have a thought of it, you're going to give it life. You have to be free and let it go. You understand what I'm saying? Let things go that do not serve you purpose. This is where you're going to now start to make room for the things that will serve you purpose, or bring the manifestations that you would like to have, the desires that you would like to have in abundance. You're giving that energy room to now flow, right? And another thing that I'm going to say is, find yourself sometimes, like the way that they build houses, right? They build houses in squares to cut off the connection, the energy connection to your aura and your field. So another way that you can start manifesting things is put yourself in a circular environment, right? So when you start having these oneness conversations with yourself and the energy starts to flow from that oneness, you can get the full effect of it, so that you can understand it from a much deeper place, because you're not in a place where the corners are barricading it off. Or if you are strong, envision yourself in a circular space, so that the circular space, like the kundalini, so the circular aspect of the energy can encompass you to give you the correct energy, so that you can have the correct perception for yourself to understand and understand what it is that you want to remain of yourself. That way you get the truth of what it is. That's another thing. So this is where I'm going with getting people to understand themselves first. You got to want to do it, right? Because in order for things to really change, in order for things to really, really, truly change, we first have to understand ourselves and what is getting us through each day, right? What are your thoughts every single day? And you're going to have a sit down. You're going to have a sit down and converse with yourself, right? And ask yourself, what is facilitating my being? What is facilitating my thoughts? What is facilitating my understanding, right? Understand the power of media. Why media is so powerful, because it can get everybody at certain times of the day, on certain numbers of the day, that has the greatest influence to think at the same time, to be able to manifest and propel or bring things into a reality a lot faster, right? That is the power of the collective consciousness. This is why they don't want the collective consciousness. This is to really come to this understanding. I always enjoy listening. Oh, thank you. Gratitude to you, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, because it is important. I feel that it's important, for us to understand ourselves and do and clean house. You know what I'm saying? Clean house. Even in astrology, they tell you where you are astrological, what house you're in astrological. The house of Jupiter, the house of Venus, the house. It's all about the house and the energy that supports that house, right? So you are the energy that support your material aspect of yourself, right? So you have to know that you know thyself, to know the energy that is facilitating your waking life. And what's facilitating your waking life is your thoughts. It's what you believe. It's what you believe. You are what you get. Right? So when we decide to blame people for stuff, even blaming the government for stuff and everything, well, we really can't blame them for anything, because we believe in them. There are many of us as a collective, right, that believe in them. This is thus why they exist. So they got us in the point to believe that they're for us when and we believe that they're for us. And as long as we believe that they're for us, they can do whatever they want to do. Because as long as they got the belief that they're for us, then that is thus it shall be, right? The belief that they're for us. But if they are deceptive, right? If they're deceptive in nature, all they need is the belief, right? That they're doing something, and they can still do whatever they want to do, right? So the belief is very, 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 very powerful. Understand that the belief is very, 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 very powerful. Right? You are a very powerful person. I don't think that people understand how powerful they are as an individual, right? And this is where I'm going back to the basics. I'm going back to the understanding of know that everything is frequency, vibration. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Frequency, energy, and vibration. They are simultaneous. They complement each other. They work hand in hand. That's the energy that facilitates it. And your free will is what allows whatever you believe in. That's the energies that's going to propel it, that is going to bring it into your reality. So it will behoove you to think about what it is that you believe in, so that it doesn't infiltrate your the reality that you want to have for yourself. This is why they try to take away the mind of a child when a child is in the atmosphere or the energy of make-believe, right? Because they understand the power of why they call it make-believe, because you're making it a belief. And they understand the fact that once you make it a belief, it can be your reality. So this is why they try to send the illusion that the land of make-believe is just really false. No, that's where all the power is at. Law of rhythm. That is where all the power is at. Right? We have to understand all of the attributes that comes along with our vessel, that comes along with our being. You are not the body. You are energy. You are a soul. You are a frequency. You are a vibration. This is what you are, right? You are not this body. You are the energy that brings this body down to a density, to the point where you can actually, because it's a dense matter, I'm tangible, right? But you are an energy. You are a frequency. You are a vibration. So you have to move as such in that knowledge, even though you have a physical vessel, right? That is the understanding of knowing thyself. Yes, imagination is so powerful in children. They take it away from us. Absolutely. And they take it away from us by any means necessary, by giving us the pops and stuff like that from a child, the varicella, the MMRs, and all the things that they say that you need to have when we are born with our own immunity. They do a lot of things to slow us down, to disconnect us from the true aspects of the energies and the frequencies that we are, by trying to genetically modify us and different things of that nature. But and we have been genetically modified to a degree, but not to the point where they have been successful to really cut us completely off, right? Because every time they try, they buy time by doing that. Yes, it has worked in buying time to slow us down. but it can never cut us off from source. So once we understand that aspect, you will no longer allow your children to be a part of that aspect, because you would want them to be able to be in contact with their source, right? That creates their reality, right? You will want them to be a part of that, right? Because now you understand that everything is vibration, everything is frequency, everything is energy, the numbers, the everything, right? You are an energy, you are a mathematical computation. What they call it, sacred geometry, right? You are that person. That is what creates the being that you see in the mirror every day. A mathematical computation. Numbers have powers. So if number have powers and you are a mathematical computation, you are comprised of a mathematical computation, divine mathematics, right? Then you have power, right? Even our parents told us you were too grown for make-believe because they didn't. Right. They were able to disconnect us to a certain extent, right? But then new energies comes into part, and new children are being born. That's why these new kids that are being born right now, they on a whole nother different energy. And we're not to look at them as lazy or anything like that. They are on a whole nother different frequency. They're coming in on a whole nother different energy. That many of us that been so battered and confused in terms of what we've been exposed to in the age of Pisces, that we're looking at them like, oh, something is wrong with them. No, everything is right about them. I don't care how wrong they may appear to you, but from an energetic and frequency perspective, I'm about it, because I understand that the energy that they have is the energy that's going to change this shit. I'm not looking at all of the superficial shit or the things that are a part of this illusion. I am looking at the energy that these children are coming into this dimension with, and they taking names later. You understand what I'm saying? They whooping ass and taking names later. Their energies and frequencies and vibrations are just that strong. You understand? It is definitely them. They are the ones. They are it. They are the ones, right? And I respect and I give them, I bow to the frequency, because they are these high energetic beings that know who they are at a much deeper level than we know of ourselves. They're coming in on a different frequency, knowing who they are. I have, one of my goddesses, the good friends, her son only drinks water. He don't eat, right? He doesn't eat. All he wants is water, because that's all he needs in the physical, right? That's the truth of the matter. Right? So we can learn about these, we can learn from these new energies what they are exempling to us, because the first thing we want to do if we see a child that all they want is water, they don't want any food, oh, something must be wrong. Let me take them to the doctor. No, everything is right. That's all they need. If they're at their optimum level of consciousness, they're communicating with you, and they're speaking to you, they're understanding, they're having these conversations with you that you might not even understand, but you might want to just try to understand it. You might just want to try to, get at that level of energy and frequency to be able to understand them, because they are the ones. They are the ones, right? They are the energy. They are the shift. They are the shift. Because they're not a watered down version of who we are, because of the age that we were in, that we submitted ourselves, we became submissive to, right? By manipulation and deception. Because if we really truly knew the truth of ourselves, we wouldn't have submitted to that, to be able to be infiltrated by the manipulation or the deception. And this is where I'm coming in at, and many of us are coming in at, to try to, counteract these particular types of belief. Because if you understand that it's the belief of you that is what is facilitating and creating the manifestations of your life, then you'll start doing spring cleaning of your thoughts. You'll start doing spring cleaning of the beliefs that you believe in. You'll start taking the time to analyze every thought that comes, or even if a situation you might have forgotten about comes upon you, and you'll stop for a moment and say, oh, you know what, I forgot about this one. Let me take the time to analyze, to find out if this belief, is it for me? Is it working for me? Is it working against me? Right? You'll take the time to do that. And I think it's imperative for us to know thyself at that level. Then we'll know that what thyself is making a contribution to as a collective consciousness, because it's the power of the collective consciousness that they bank on every time for you to believe in their banking system, for you to believe in the patriot system, for you to believe in the religious system, for you to believe in their medical system, for you to believe in their education system. For you, it's the collective consciousness. It's the collective consciousness that they need, the energies from the collective consciousness. This is why they always keep you at a visual. They always have the commercial. They always have the news. They have the news, what they want to be focused on. They put it on at a certain time, right? Because they understand the powers of the numbers. They understand the mathematical computation of things. They understand the numerology of things. Do you understand all of that? Ask yourself, do you understand the very things that they're using against you to control the narrative? Because this is how they are controlled. They're not controlling you. They're controlling the narrative, because you know not of thyself. So when you start learning and knowing thyself, then they no longer can control the damn narrative. You are now taking back your power and controlling your own goddamn narrative. You understand what I'm saying? That's what this is about. So this is the conversation that, you know, I would love to have. If anybody want to come up, they're more than welcome to come up. I don't have a problem with you coming up. I know a lot of people are, you know, shy about those things, but you know, there's no reason to be, you know, because as easily as I can sit here and say, I do truly want you to know that you are not the body. You are not the body. You are a beautiful soul. That is why I say what I say when I come on. I'm like, you know, grand rising, beautiful soul. I want people to understand the truth of who they really are. You are a beautiful soul. You are an energy or frequency of vibration, a very powerful mathematic computation that is bringing yourself into this reality, this density, right? You are, let's say, yes, the power of it all. Every news channel run at the same time. Absolutely. They run the story. They run the story at the same time, because they understand that if they can get everybody to think about that at the same time, right? And they take it, right? And they be like, oh my God, did you hear about what happened on South Beach with the shootings and the killings and everything? And they want to push a narrative that, you know, that's bad or whatever, to put you in fear of certain things or whatever. Then yes, that's why they pick, choose, and refuse what they put on the news, because they understand the power behind it. It's a method to the madness. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what we need to understand. This is why I no longer watch the news, and I get hot and heavy and upset with my husband when he turned that shit on in the morning. I say, wait till my ass leave. Let me leave first before you turn that shit on, because I don't want to be around it. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, because it influences, it does. It's not just about you, but it's about everybody. Think about it. Everybody who's watching the 6 o'clock, the 8 o'clock, you know, the 9 o'clock, the 12 o'clock, the 3 o'clock, then again the 6 o'clock again, then you got the 9 o'clock, then you got the 11 o'clock. Look at the times that they're putting the news on. Like, look at the number sequences that they're utilizing to put the news on the 11. We thinking 11 o'clock. No, it's the number 11. That's when portals are open. We're thinking that it's 12 o'clock. No, that's the number 3. 1 plus 3 is 12. And at the astrological value of things, in certain astrological aspect of things, this is when this is happening and stuff like that at the 12 o'clock hour from an astrological perspective. So we need to have that in order for all of this shit to work. We need to move at this pace at a mathematical or numerological level, right? What do we know about that? We're thinking that it's 9 o'clock. We're thinking that, oh, it's just 12 o'clock. Oh, the 6 o'clock news. Oh, the 11 o'clock news. No, bro, no. It's a method to the madness for that, right? But because we know not of ourselves, we take it for a simple thing. We don't make nothing out of it, right? So this is where I am putting out the information. I am asking someone to piggyback and be a little bit more in depth and more profound. I'm just giving the basic, because I'm layman. I'm a layman person. I just try to keep it simple. But if anybody else that listens to this live can, you know, piggyback and articulate it at a much deeper aspect, please feel free to do so. I don't have a problem. I'm not in this for no profit. I am in this for the love of my people. I am in this for people to wake up. Let's see. Oh, I gotta hold on. Let's see. Oh. I tried to add, but it's not allowing me to add. You go figure that. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Grand Grand Rising.
Hi, Patrice. Why
I
am I so blurry?
I don't know. I don't know. This they it's circle like it's just circling. So I guess they're trying to
Oh, is it?
decide. I guess they're trying to decide if we're gonna let this. They're gonna let this conversation commence or not. You know, they have to. They have to
But you can
review.
hear me, right?
I definitely can
You
hear
can
you.
hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
I I love listening to you. I agree 100% with your perspective and the things that you say. You have great energy. I really like, I connect with you the first time I heard you speak.
Gratitude.
And
Gratitude.
yeah, it's just like we do need to have these conversations, all of us. Like so yeah, thanks for having this platform and giving people a chance, even though IG wants to block us.
I know. They tried because this is not the information. I feel that this is not the information because this is the information that truly enlightens you to the true source of what fuels what's going on. And if we're trying to make changes, but how can you make changes without understanding what's facilitating what's actually going on? It's like running around here like on a wild goose chase, right? You have to understand what's actually going on first so that you can know how to maneuver, right? And that's the aspect that has been taken
Absolutely.
away from us. You understand? We just taking things from a simple aspect of just living. We're just fine with living. And the thing about it is what I want to tell people is like I'm a person that sits and I'm in observation mode a lot of the time. I'm observing.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I want people to understand that even under all of this stringent type of control and manipulation, we have still found a way to be happy. We have still found a way to be happy, even though we may not like a lot of things that's going on. And I
yeah,
think that that's
yeah,
very, very powerful. That is very, very powerful. So that means that
yeah,
if we took control over ourselves, right? If we 100% took control over ourselves, can you imagine the energy that would commence on this planet without those types of stringence and control? Because even under the most stringent of conditions, we have found a way to still find some sense of peace and solitude and still be happy at some level, at some capacity. It may not be as consistent as we would like for it to be, but it still exists. It still has a place, right? So if we
yeah,
were able to control ourselves at 100% with the understanding of our energy, doing the homework, doing our due diligence within ourselves, cleansing our environment, cleansing our immediate space, our minds, right? And starting asking ourselves, does this facilitate me? Does this make me a better me? Or does this make me a me that's
right.
not too happy? Then it'll change. Things will just change because of you. The power is you. We are the power. We are the
Yeah,
power.
that
You
that
understand?
that's so funny. That is the thing that I think a lot of people miss is that the frequency of our energies,
Mhm.
like really is a very remarkable thing.
Mhm.
And like how we've been able to connect, even though things were shut down for so long and we had to go in, go inward. And then we learned how to connect with each other, how to find community, how to stay and grow into that high vibe.
Right.
So, like when you were talking about frequencies, it really just made me think of like the promise that the universe makes in the law of rhythm. That's why I had said that, because like a pendulum swings one way and then it has the backswing.
Right.
And So when it swings up, and let's say it's a situation we deem as not good or bad, I'm doing quotes because the universe is neutral, right? So it promises us that we're going to have on the backswing an equal
The balance,
experience, but on the
right? The
other
balance
end,
on the other end, right?
right?
So that's what's happening.
Exactly.
That is what's happening now. You have the 180 to 180 that makes the 360, right? So it has.
Right.
So
Yeah.
now we're on. This is what the age of Aquarius is going to do. It's going to facilitate the energy and the frequency of the knowledge, so that we can understand ourselves. Because the understanding of that knowledge is what's going to create the change. Because the pendulum is now on the upswing for the positive side to start to commence
Right.
energetically in frequency from what the negative side. This is where in this dimension the balance is necessary. In this dimension you have to have
Right.
balance because of the aspect of the duality in this density, right? As you ascend and you become lighter in terms of the four phases of the matter, and you become more lighter and you become more ethereal or plasmic or what have you, then this is where that
Yeah.
aspect it's not as relevant as it is now. But because we are in this dimension, in this density, that's where the law of rhythm actually comes into part. So now we are on the upswing now of this positive
Right.
energy. We are on the upswing. So this is why the age of Aquarius is bringing those energies, and this is why all of these conversations now is commencing, because now these particular frequencies is now stimulating our neurons, and now we're able to some of us are able to articulate it. A
Yeah.
lot of us trying to
We
figure
were.
stuff out.
Oh,
Oh, go
I'm
ahead, go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I was going to say that like for 200 years or whatever it is, we were in that dense like earth energy, and now like since the industrial age, and now that we entered the air phase of the age of Aquarius, it's whole different, like the whole
Right. It's
vibe
a
and
whole nother different vibe.
different
It's a whole
story. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
Pisces
Tara.
Pisces was under a patriotic type. I always say
Yeah.
that word wrong, but it was male energetic
Yeah. A
development.
patriarch. A
Right,
patriarch.
patriarch, right,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
So it was very stringent. It was very like I say I call it like Czechoslovakia. Those hard
Yeah.
stringent when you say Czechoslovakia, you got it sounds just rough. It was just like these edges. It wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't
Didn't
it didn't
flow. There
flow
was no
right. There
flow.
was no flow, right. So, and now with, us bringing back the divine feminine energy to create the balance of things, right? Because we are in a density or a dimension that is balance is necessary. The yin and the yang duality, you can't escape that aspect of it. It is the truth of what this
100%.
density
Yeah.
represents itself to be. So now it's coming back where we're now trying to create the balance of things, right? So we have to understand and the thing of it is, once again, it's all esoteric, it's all metaphysical, it's all of these
Yeah.
things that they disconnect you from, and they divert you with a whole nother different, put your energies into something else that takes you away from the true connection, because this is where the real deception is able to take shape and form, because we know not of ourselves, and we do not know the true aspect of what is actually facilitating a lot of things that we do not desire to see. Because in the real life,
It's true.
we get up and we go to work, and we make it a happy day. We tell ourselves, okay, well, we got to do this because we got to eat, we got to, and so we'll go to work and say we're trying to make our work environment as pleasant as possible because we got to be here, a certain amount of day and a certain
Yeah.
amount of time during the day. So we sit here and we're trying to organize a space to make ourselves a little bit comfortable, but in actual reality, it's not even supposed to be that way. But imagine we're able
Wasn't
to take
designed like
it
that.
wasn't designed like that. We were supposed to be free to be. And we were supposed to this is the reason why we all have natural talents. You understand what I'm saying? You have people that are coming out of the womb that can build a skyscraper building. They already have the knowledge to be able to do that without even having to go to any type of university or school. It's naturally
Isn't
there.
that crazy? It's crazy.
But look at how
It's
they
crazy.
diverted it. They
But it's so
diverted us.
cool.
It's beautiful. It's just gorgeous. It's beautiful. Look at how they diverted a natural talent and told you, in order to be credible in this system, you had to go college and get credentialized for a natural
Right. And
talent that you were
that's
born
right.
with, right? So that's
That's
something that you
right.
have to look into. Why do I have to credentialize something that's already been given to me from the Most High, from a higher energetic frequency that this realm know not of? You understand what I'm saying? So why do
Right.
I have to be
Yeah.
credentialized in order for my work to have some sound or substantiation? Why? These
Yeah.
are the things
You
that
don't.
you have to question. This is where now you're doing the work within yourself, and these are some of the things that you're going to question and say, well, this is not of a benefit to me, because I don't need to get credentialized over anything that comes to me naturally. I naturally know how to do this. You had a young guy
Well,
that
they
flew in
keep
a
you tied up with the money. You know, they keep you tied into the money because you go to school, you need a student loan. The
yeah,
majority of people can't afford to pay tuition. So you get all tied up in the money, and then you have to work. You owe,
right. It's
student
all
loans forever.
it's all to facilitate a system that is detrimental to our
She
being.
said 10 after.
It's all to facilitate a
Exactly.
system that is detrimental to our being, right? We are the ones that create we're the ones that create a reality for the ones that are not able to create a reality for themselves. And that's a whole nother different conversation. But that's pretty much the
That
truth
is,
of it. That's
it's
a
another
whole
rabbit
nother
hole.
that's another rabbit hole, right? That's a whole nother conversation. But for the sake of what we're trying to do right now, to get people more enlightened about knowing thyself and understanding thyself and knowing that you are the power and you are actually the one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There they pausing again. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Well,
why.
the bottom line is we came to Earth School to learn how to, manipulate the energy, to feel, to have, those human emotions, because we can't feel in spirit. So we have to have those experiences. We came here to learn and to do. And, society wants to control what we learn, how we learn, not free. So,
Right.
yeah.
It's there is so much, and this is why I am encouraging anyone that sees this video, if you guys want to piggyback off of it and put your perspective out there to grow this type of conversation so people can start to understand things at a much deeper and a more profound sense of understanding, because I think that we first got to become unlost in order to know where we're going. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
many of us
Yeah.
are
100.
we're kind of like running around like on a wild goose chase, like going through this door. Is it this door? Is it that door? No, it's you. It's you. It's you. You're the door. You're the door, right? Just have a
The
seat with
door.
your
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
have a seat with
Go
yourself.
go
Go
inside. Go
within.
inside.
Go within. I'm going to get it right this time so I don't have to come back again. I said the same thing. I said, what the hell did I was like, what the hell am I here for?
And sign up for.
It had gotten that bad. I remember I was in a closet. I was in my closet and I was just standing there because I just felt hella weird at that time. I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. And I just started to cry. I was crying. I'm like, why am I here? Like, and I had this vision, like I felt like I came from a place that was just so different from what I was in, like at the time. And I was
Yeah.
in tears, like, why am I here? This place is horrible. Like,
Hard. Yeah.
I really felt that way. And then, things of course start to come together for me, because I always put out to the universe, I want to know the truth, because there was an aspect of me that knew that this was not the truth. This was not the truth that I should be
Right.
moving from, right? So I put
And
out
we
there in
need
the
to
universe.
ask.
You
You
do.
need to
It's as
ask.
simple as that, because I'm the proof in the pudding that you put it out there, you're going to get it back. If it's blessed are those that are pure in heart. If you're pure in heart with your intentions of really wanting to know that information, the universe is going to serve it to you, and it's going to give it to you. You just got to be prepared for what it is that's going to come. You know what I'm saying? Because it might be like,
Exactly.
oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And it may take a couple of rounds for you to really get the gist of, like, damn, this is the third time this done came to me. So you know what I'm saying? That you wanted to know the truth, so here's the truth. You understand?
That's right.
So you put it out there, and then you'll have the ability to start now. It's humbling. It really really truly is humbling
It
because
is. It
you know
is.
you
But it's
start
so
to really,
simple also. You know,
it's
it's
very,
humbling and it's
yes,
simple.
yes, believe it or not, because I know what I'm saying right now. Believe it or not, what I'm saying is so simple. It is very simple. Clean your house and your mind, right? Go through all of it because you know what they have
100%.
done is have inundated us with so many distractions, so many beliefs. Like it's a gazillion of them, right? So it's like if you feel like it's going to take you a whole lifetime to go through all of them, but no, you resonate with your energy, your frequency, what's resonating with you. And in order to get yourself in a sense of oneness or a state of oneness, you have to be by yourself. You have to be, you can't have no distractions, and you take control of your thoughts as to what it is now that you want to clean house. Just like you get up and you clean your house and you get rid of stuff and you shift the old stuff out and you bring in new
Triple.
stuff. This is what you have to do
I'm
with your
coming right now.
thoughts. This is what you have to do with your beliefs. This is what you have to do with your person, yourself. You have to clean house so that you can have clean your aura. You understand what I'm saying? If you got things that are around you or whatever, and you need to learn how to go on Google or go on YouTube and find out how to clean your aura, you know, do what you need to do so that the truth now you can
Yeah.
get rid of all of that stagnant energy so that what you want to manifest or the abundance of what you want to now come in to facilitate the reality that you now want to be a part of can have an opportunity to be present in your now moment. It's
Yeah.
really, it really is that simple. This is why now, like, I don't wear makeup. I'm free. I am free. I'm free to be. I am free. I am not gonna be in
I love it.
these
I
stigmas
love
about I have to have, you know, this on and Botox and I gotta do all of these. I'm a free being. I'm free. Right? If you
Patrice, I gotta go.
oh
I got some babies I gotta go babysit for. But thanks. I
okay.
want to catch up with you again. I want
Yes,
to catch up with
absolutely,
you again.
absolutely. Not a problem.
My name's Abby.
Hi,
My
Abby.
name's
Hi,
Abby.
hi. And of course, I'm Patrice. So, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Have a wonderful evening.
Stay
Same to
with it.
you. Thank you. Same to you. Yeah, so with that understanding, you guys, this is like these beautiful exchanges. It's about us as a collective because at the end of the day, everyone has energy that they makes a contribution to. Everyone has a level of frequency that they make a contribution to the collective, right? Everyone has that. Right. And so if we start understanding that aspect at this, at this lower level of understanding, because the more if you start at ground level, you have no way, nowhere else to go but up. You understand what I'm saying? Start at the ground level, and you're not really the ground level, but just to give you a perception that once you start cleansing yourself, right, and you start getting rid of all of that shit that does not serve you, and you have to sit down with self, you have to become one with self. You have to become one with self, have a conversation with self. The very thing that they tell us not to do. Remember, they tell you if you talk to yourself, you're crazy. That was just another deception and a manipulation tactic to keep you away from yourself. Right? Because they understood that once you start having these conversations with self, it will divert you from their narrative and their agenda that they wanted to execute and facilitate for the control of the masses. Right? You have the control over yourself. It's all about you. And I'm gonna put it out there again. Please, somebody that can like expound on this, please take it up and hit me when you guys go live. So that we could all brilliant minds can all collectively come together, and so that we can put this information out there to really groom our people to trust themselves, trust you, trust yourself. I know a lot of us are saying like, oh, I got this going on, I got this going on. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's you. Okay, you believe it's you. You know what I'm saying? If you believe somebody coming after you, then somebody's going to come after you. You're sending the approval. You're giving it permission for it to happen. You're saying, energy, I give permission for somebody to come after me. I give permission for energy. Because I believe in it, I give permission for me to not have no money when you say I ain't got no money. Energy, I give permission to say I'm going to always stay in the projects, right? You don't have to stay in the projects, but you're giving the energy permission to bring that to your reality when it's actually something that you don't want to happen. Why give it life? Why give it permission to exist? You're giving it permission. You understand? Oh, if my mama said I ain't gonna be nobody, but see, that's what your mama said. That's not what you said. It's what you say to yourself. So understand that it's not an external aspect of what somebody say about you or believe about you. It's what you tell yourself. Now, if you decide to believe in the external aspect of what someone say, you're giving them your power to govern you, just like what we're doing now in terms of this whole collective consciousness. We're giving our power away to be governed, right? Because we know not of ourselves. And this is why I'm going to always bring it back to you. I'm going to always bring it back to one. I'm going to always bring it back to you, because you have to understand yourself. You need to understand you and understand that you are the power, because you are energy. You are a mathematical computation that is in this density. There's a mathematical computation, and numbers have power. So I don't care how far you try to break it down from an esoteric, you are power. You are power. You are the power. You are the energy source that they feed from. And then as a collective, that just gives it like an atomic bomb. The greater of the energy is of the collective minds. And if I can get all of the collective minds to think on one accord at the same goddamn time, right? Then that's where the mountain starts to move. Because now I have the collective energy to facilitate it, to give it life to move. And this is why they constantly inundate us with media, right? This is why. And visuals and commercials. If I could get 10,000, 20,000, 20 million people at this one commercial at the same time to look at this BMW, right? I got 20,000. This is why they pay so much money for advertisement and stuff. If I could get 20,000 people to watch this commercial and think about a video, I think about a BMW on this BMW commercial, then guess what? I'm going to make about 20 million this week. Because at the same time, I had somebody focus on, I had 20 million people focus on the same energy. This is what I'm telling you, it's energy, frequency, and vibration. That's what it is. That's the power. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And until we get an understanding that that's what it is, then when we start doing housework and we start cleaning up, right? And we start thinking about, oh, I ain't watching no TV. I guarantee you, if we start watching TV right now, this bitch will turn upside down. It'll turn upside down, inside out. If all us stop watching TV, if all of us came off of social media all at the same time, if we did it for 2-3 weeks straight with no interaction, no nothing, period, nothing, this bitch, they will bow to our feet. They will bow to our feet. You think all of a sudden shit that was going to be a famine, you'll start seeing shit coming out of nowhere. You start seeing I'm telling you, I am telling you, we are, as a collective, we are the power. We are the power as a collective mind. This is why they try to get us on the same page at the same time through media and all of the other resources and outlets that they could possibly can, billboards, through colors, through all of everything has a significant frequency, and they understand that. The color red, the color yellows, all of those things have significant frequencies. They are mathematical computation, and they have significant frequencies that they utilize, that they use against us, that we just take as, oh, it's just the color red. No, it's sacred geometry, a frequency of, your lower chakra, or whatever the frequency in mathematical computation it is. And if you believe in that and you see the colors and this and that or whatever, it's going to attract you to come here, and that's all built by design. They know your being from a metaphysical perspective. But do you know your being from a metaphysical perspective? No, you don't, because you are around here thinking everything is tangible and physical, and you are not the body. You are energy. You are a frequency. You are a vibration. You are you are sacred geometry. You are a mathematical computation. And they base everything around your mathematical computation. They even give you numbers to tell you that you're aging, right? I don't celebrate that shit. And I'm not Jehovah's Witness, never was. It was just a part of me that naturally came to not celebrate. I don't celebrate that shit. You understand? Because I know that I'm eternal. There was a part of me, an aspect of me, even when I was half asleep, there was still something internally within me that knew that I didn't have to do that. And my family, they tried it, they tried it, but I'm not on that. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want people to understand themselves. I'm going to end here. As I say, you guys can share this video to somebody. If you know a brilliant mind, share this video with somebody so that they can piggyback off of what it is, because I think this is where we're going to get everybody off the ground, right? And when you're at this level, it's nothing but you have nowhere to go but up. You can either be stagnant and stay where you at, or just you have nowhere else to go but up. You are the power. Always remember that. And I'm always say that in every one of my videos. Y'all may not, y'all gonna be like, damn, she say the same shit all the time. Yeah, because we need to, they constantly be redundant with us. They constantly show shit over and over and over and over. They know the power of repetition, right? So why is it that we don't use repetition in the positive way, in a high frequency way upon ourselves? They know the power of repetition. They know the power of repetition. Peace. I appreciate you too. Gratitude. Much gratitude to you. Thank you. They know the power of repetition. So why is it that we don't constantly repeat ourselves in terms of what is going to uplift us, right? Know thyself. Know who you are. Know that you are the power. You are the power. This is why I always say grand rising, beautiful soul, because I want people to realize that you are not the body. You are a beautiful, beautiful soul, right? You are energy, frequency, vibration. You are sacred geometry. You are a mathematical computation. Numbers have power, so therefore you do too. Frequency have power, so therefore you do too. You are the power. Always and forever. All right? Love you guys. And I shall commence to talking with you guys later. Peace, peace. Love you. Mwah. Later.
Peace, peace.